Hi everybody, it is Thursday, February 15th. Again, another asynchronous day, so you have your lesson here recorded. And all the instructions for what you need to do are in the lesson, so pay attention here as I go through the lesson with you. So today we're covering Unit 9, Lesson 5. This is your textbook, Chapter 11. And I have a little question for us to think about as we start off here. So since we're not in the classroom, we can't really do polling, but you can think of the answer in your mind here. The Pearl Harbor attack caused Americans to be even more convinced that they needed to stay out of the war and world affairs. So do you think that is true or false? Think about that for a moment. And actually, the answer to that is false. After the Pearl Harbor attack, Americans started to realize, that what they thought was going to keep them isolated from this war was not really happening anymore. So it was time for us to get involved. All right, so as you go through today's lesson, remember, even though we're not in class, you should still do things like take notes and complete your assignments and pay close attention. Today we're going to focus on identifying the major nations involved in World War II and their leaders as either Axis or Allied powers. Now we've kind of already talked about that a little bit previously, but we just want to recap and make sure that we understand. As we go through the lesson, think about our essential question. Who were the countries involved in World War II and how did they create alliances? All right, so today we're going to be doing a Google form again as your graded assignment. This way you will have information. If you want to add your email address to the form, you may do that, and then you will receive a copy of the form back after you submit it. And this is good because you will have the answers that you submit, and then at the end of the unit before our quiz, I will share out the correct answers with you in the form of a study guide. So if I don't do that, somebody remind me to do that. So anyway, in a moment, your thing will pop up in your Edpuzzle. Asking you to click the link. You may go ahead and do that and open up that Google form, and then when you're ready to move on, go ahead and move, or you can pause the recording and then move on when you are ready. All right, so just to review, remembering what we learned about yesterday, you watched that Pearl Harbor movie. Think about these questions and see if you can answer them to yourself. What was Pearl Harbor? Why was this a target? And what was the good thing that came out of that attack? So just to review a little bit for you, you can visit history.com. I'll put a link in here if you want to click the link and watch a little tiny recap video about this. But the Japanese, in the World War II, or in the Pearl Harbor attack, the Japanese managed to destroy nearly 20 American ships, including 8 enormous battleships and almost 200 airplanes. More than 2,000 American soldiers and sailors died in the attack, and more than 1,000 were wounded. The day after the attack, President Franklin Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war on Japan. Congress approved his declaration with only one person voting against it. 3 days later, Japanese allies, Germany and Italy, also declared war on the United States. And once again, Congress voted to declare war back. More than 2 years into this big conflict, America finally joins World War II. So that's how long it took us to get involved. All right, so here are the Allied forces. Once the United States got involved in World War II, they teamed up with Russia, Great Britain. Now, I want to just clarify a couple things. you will hear us refer to Russia as one thing. Some people refer to Russia as the Soviet Union. Some of them, you might see it called the USSR. For our purposes in class, all of those names are the same country. And that is a similar thing with Great Britain. Sometimes we call Great Britain England. Sometimes it's called England. So just be aware that it's just a different name for the same country. So you have Russia, Great Britain, the United States, and France all teaming up together. The main powers, though, in this are Russia, Great Britain, and the U.S. All right, so there will be a question on your form here. If you want to pause the video and go answer the question, then come on back. All right, so you might be getting confused because remember, Russia is this country, Soviet Union, Russia is this country that we're all afraid of, right? They're not good people. We have Joseph Stalin over there who's also like a dictator. So why would they team up with the United States? Well, although Stalin was a ruthless dictator, the USSR or the Soviet Union was still a valuable ally against Hitler. But how did that happen? Originally, Germany and the USSR had an alliance, remember? Well, let's see what happened there. So in 1939, Hitler, who represents Germany, and Stalin, who represents Russia, they signed the Nazi-Soviet Pact. And what's a pact? A pact is like an agreement. They shook hands, they signed this friendship pact. They said they would not fight each other. They made plans to march into Poland. One side was going to come in from the east and the other side was going to come from the west, and they were going to conquer that nation and they were going to split it up and share it. And they did. Poland was destroyed and divided, but here's what happened then. As we know, we can't always trust these evil dictators. Hitler double-crossed Stalin right after that and invaded Russia and attacked them, which is what Hitler's plan was all along, but he was just lying to Stalin and using him. So he used Russia to get Poland, and then right after he got Poland, he went and attacked Russia. So not a very trustworthy guy. So now you can see how Stalin and Russia would be willing to help the Allied powers to get back at Hitler. All right, so let's take a look at this picture. These are our major leaders. Our major leaders of the Allied powers. See if you can identify them. They're the three guys sitting down in the chairs. So we have Franklin Roosevelt, who's the U.S. president, right here in the middle. Then we have Winston Churchill, who plays an enormous role in this war with Franklin Roosevelt. He is he's the head of Great Britain or England. And then we have over here Joseph Stalin, who is Russia. So you're going to want to recognize their names and be able to match them to their countries at some point. All right, here's another way to look at it. We have Roosevelt, who is the United States. Oops. Excuse me. We have Churchill, who is Great Britain. And then we have Stalin, who is Russia. Okay, so we will want to be able to identify those leaders and which country they represent. Okay, and just to get an idea of where they're located, take a look. The Allied countries on this map are colored in the dark green. Now, for our lesson, for our purposes in the sixth grade, we're not talking about all of these countries. We're only talking about the major players. So you'll see a lot of green like down here and over here, but we're not really going to discuss them right now. But mainly we're talking about the United States here, Russia here, Great Britain, which is here. Okay? Oops, I keep hitting that. I'm sorry. The Axis nations, which we're going to get to in a moment, are the red. So see, there's not as many of them and they're not as big, but don't underestimate them. They are still very, very powerful and able to cause a lot of trouble. And you can study this map in more detail if you want to. This like peachy color, it shows the countries that the Axis nations had already conquered or taken over. So as you can see, it's quite a bit of Europe and quite a bit of Asia over here, and a lot of these smaller islands in the South Pacific. All right, so again, here is our recap. This is a slide you might want to snip and save because it lines up the countries with the leaders, and we definitely need to know that. You have a Google form question here you want to answer. By the way, all the slides will be loaded into this lesson in your online school, so you can always go back and look at those slides later. All right, let's do a quick check. Take a look at our choices. The main countries that formed the Allies group of World War II are, read your choices and indicate to yourself which one you think is correct. And if you said B, you were correct. United States, USSR, or Russia, and England or Great Britain. Good job. All right, so now we're going to look at the nations on the other side of the war. These are called the Axis forces. And those, of course, included Germany, Italy, and Japan. Okay, so you want to get to your Google form and answer that question, and then we'll move on. You can pause if you need to pause the video. Well, who are their leaders? Okay, let's take a look. Well, we already learned about Adolf Hitler. This is him in this picture. But we kind of mentioned this guy before, Benito Mussolini. He's standing here next to Hitler. He's the leader of Italy. And then Hideki Tojo. He's the leader of Japan. And again, here's how we can represent them by the maps. Adolf Hitler is Germany, which is here. Tojo is Japan. And Mussolini is Italy. And again, you can look on the map to locate them, the Axis nations. We have Germany right in the center here. We have Italy, which is right down here. And we have Japan, which is over here. And here's a recap if you want to grab this page and snip it. This is a good one to save because it shows Germany, Hitler, Italy, Mussolini, and Japan, Tojo. You're going to need to know that. You have some questions on your Google form to get answered there. And then do a quick check for yourself. Which are the main countries that form the Axis group? Of course, we just went over it. That is Germany, Italy, and Japan. Letter C. All right, so let's talk about something else. Something called Blitzkrieg. It is a German word that means lightning war. So let's read through this page. This comes out of your textbook. The German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, soon began dropping bombs on England, tons and tons of bombs. Then Hitler made some stupid moves. First, he went into Greece and Yugoslavia, where his forces faced some heroic fighters. That stopped Germany for a while. But then Hitler double-crossed Stalin. He decided to invade Russia. That had been his plan all along. He even wrote a book called Mein Kampf. It means My Struggle in German. This told all about his goal of world domination. He says, no human being has ever declared or recorded what he wanted to do more often than me. Anyone who read Hitler's writings knew what he had planned. He said that Germans were the master race and that they needed more room and other nations to serve them as slaves. Churchill and Roosevelt paid attention. They knew Hitler was capable and effective as well as evil. For a long time, most other politicians did not take him seriously.